There's hardly anything more wonderful than a Reese's Peanut Butter Cup egg. Get your coffee. What is so good about Good Friday? That's the question that we ask at Good Friday every year at the church that I pastor. There are a lot of things that surround this day which at the surface level do not appear to be in any way good. And quite certainly, in a lot of respects, they are not good. Jesus, likely very early in the pre-dawn hours of Good Friday, was betrayed by Judas Iscariot, one of his disciples. And he was betrayed with a kiss. A short time later, 3 times Peter, one of Jesus's nearest disciples and apostle, denied his Lord after most of the other disciples had fled, run from Jesus at his arrest. The Jewish high priest and the ruling council of Israel, they conspired against Christ to condemn him to death. The Jewish king, Herod, a vassal of the Roman Empire, effectively condemned Jesus to death. And ultimately, the Roman governor of Judea, Pontius Pilate, while pressured by the religious ruling class in Jerusalem, he condemned him to die as well. Jesus was then mocked and beaten and crucified. How is any of this good? None of it appears to be so at all. But for the Christian, the goodness of Good Friday is not in the actions and activities of the day, but in what the day ultimately accomplished. 700 years before his betrayal and condemnation, the prophet Isaiah wrote of the Messiah. He was despised and rejected by men, a man of sorrows, acquainted with grief. And we hid, as it were, our faces from him. He was despised, and we did not esteem him. Surely he has borne our griefs and carried our sorrows, yet we esteemed him stricken, smitten by God, and afflicted. But he was wounded for our transgressions. He was bruised for our iniquities. The chastisement for our peace was upon him, and by his stripes we are healed. All we like sheep have gone astray. We have turned everyone to his own way, and the Lord has laid on him the iniquity of us all. He was oppressed and he was afflicted, yet he opened not his mouth. He was led as a lamb to the slaughter, and as a sheep before its shearers is silent, so he opened not his mouth. He was taken from prison and from judgment, and who will declare his generation? For he was cut off from the land of the living. For the transgressions of my people he was stricken. All we like sheep have gone astray. We have turned everyone to his own way, and the Lord, God the Father in heaven, has laid on him, Jesus Christ the Son, on the cross. The Lord has laid on him the iniquity of us all. The Apostle Paul, in 2 Corinthians chapter 5, he writes, For he, God the Father, made him, Jesus the Son, who knew no sin, to be sin for us, that we might become the righteousness of God in him. This is what makes Good Friday good, and this is what makes it possible for you and I to be made right with God. Something to think about. We'll see you next time.